The Aerith Dominion arrived without warning. They called it Operation Harvest. To them, humanity was a young, soft species, barely 2 centuries into the stars, too sentimental to wield true power. The Dominion's warlords saw opportunity, ripe colonies, rich worlds, and a people who still spoke of morality as if it mattered in the void. The target was Cressida Prime, a shining jewel of human expansion, a lush, oceanic world orbiting the binary suns of the Horus system, home to 15 million civilians and 3,000 planetary defense officers, families, teachers, children. When the Dominion came, they didn't come for conquest. They came for spectacle. The first strike tore through the orbital dockyards. 2 supercarriers, each the size of a small moon, descended through the atmosphere like gods of fire. They broadcast their arrival across all frequencies, mocking the humans below as they burned their cities from orbit. "The weak will yield," said their commander, Lord Zareth, his voice a rasp through translation fields. "Your worlds are ours now. Accept mercy and kneel." No one had time to kneel. The oceans boiled. The skies ignited. When the smoke cleared, Cressida Prime was silent. Its blue seas turned black, its continents shattered into glass. The Dominion left the corpses unburied, the ruins untouched. They left behind one thing only, a beacon, pulsing with their insignia. It transmitted a single message to Earth. This is what becomes of defiance. The Dominion's mockery. The Aerith celebrated the massacre. In their great citadel on Dravis, the warlords held a feast. Hollow displays shimmered with recordings of Cressida's death, a planet breaking apart in high-definition glory. Ambassadors of other species watched in uneasy silence. Some laughed along, fearing the Dominion's wrath if they didn't. Others whispered, quietly horrified, "Humans will not forget." But the Dominion dismissed such warnings. "Humans?" sneered Lord Zareth. "They are primitives wrapped in steel. They fear loss. They cling to compassion. They will sue for peace and beg for leniency, as they always do." Around him, the laughter of Aerith nobles filled the hall. They toasted to the lesson of Cressida. They spoke of future campaigns, how they'd claim the Terran frontier and force Earth to pay tribute. In their arrogance, they mistook silence for surrender. They believed Earth's quiet meant fear. They did not know what humanity was building in that silence. They did not understand what kind of rage could take root in grief. The silence before the storm for 40 days, Earth said nothing. No declarations, no fleets dispatched, no diplomats sent to plead. The Dominion's spies watched, puzzled. They saw factories burning at double output, communications networks darkened by encryption, shipyards closed to all visitors. The United Terran Command spoke only once, an encrypted message sent to every human outpost. "Stand by. Prepare for retribution." Then came the silence again. In the black depths of Sol's orbit, shipyards that had long been dormant roared to life. The Atlas yards began producing warships that dwarfed anything seen since the fall of Mars. The Aegis forges on Luna worked day and night to construct something massive. Beyond classification, beyond precedent, whispers spread across human space. The Leviathans are awakening, and one by one, old ghosts stirred. Retired admirals returned to command. Mercenary fleets swore loyalty to the flag of Earth. Even independent colonies, once fractured by distance and politics, united under one word: vengeance. When the Aerith finally realized something was coming, it was already too late. The warning, it began with the fall of the Dravis outpost. An Aerith listening post near the Orion Spur went dark. No transmissions, no distress signals. When a patrol arrived, they found only debris. Floating shards of metal, sliced cleanly as if by invisible blades. Days later, the Dominion's communication arrays detected a repeating signal on every channel. It was in Terran standard, simple and cold, for Cressida Prime. The next system to vanish was Velthar, then Ilkar, then Vornis Prime. Entire garrisons wiped out overnight, fleets gone silent without a trace. Dominion analysts tried to understand, but their data made no sense. The attacks came from no known direction. Ships appeared from hyperspace inside defended orbits, impossible by all known physics. Aerith scientists theorized some kind of gravitational slipstream drive, but their reports were never finished. The research station studying the phenomenon disappeared the next day. When the Dominion's capital fleet finally went on alert, a message arrived, broadcast from Sol, carried by quantum relay across 1,000 light-years. The human representative appeared on every Aerith channel. A woman with iron-gray hair, clad in black uniform. Her voice was calm. "This is Admiral Alina Cortez of the United Terran Command. You murdered 15 million civilians. You called it mercy. We have come to return the favor." Then the transmission ended, and the stars themselves seemed to go dark. The stars turned red. When the first human fleet arrived in Dravis space, the Dominion expected a conventional war. They were wrong. The Terran Armada did not enter in formation. It appeared in silence. Hundreds of ships emerging from folds in spacetime like ghosts. There were no banners, no hails, no diplomacy, only purpose. Each vessel was black as night, hulls etched with the names of fallen colonies. Cressida, Arcadia, Vega 6. They moved as one organism. Swift, surgical, merciless. The Aerith sent 12 fleets to intercept. None returned. The humans didn't just fight. They hunted. They jammed communication grids, flooded hyperspace relays with false coordinates, and cut the Dominion's supply lines before they even realized the scale of the assault. The Aerith's vaunted warlords watched their empire unravel in silence, unable to coordinate or even comprehend the strategy. Then the dreadnoughts came, each one the size of a continent, armed with mass drivers capable of cracking planets. They did not ask for surrender. They did not issue ultimatums. They simply fired. One by one, Dominion strongholds ceased to exist. Orbital rings shattered. Shipyards turned molten. Planets that had burned Cressida's oceans now felt their own skies torn apart. Humanity's vengeance was methodical. Every strike precise. Every act mirrored the atrocities of the past. When Aerith worlds begged for mercy, they received the same message. This is what becomes of defiance. The fall of Dravis, the Dominion's capital world, had stood for 10,000 years. Its towers pierced the clouds. Its orbital fortresses formed a ring of steel across the heavens. When the Terran fleet arrived, the Aerith gathered everything they had: 60 legions, 5,000 warships, planetary shields layered 100 kilometers deep. They expected battle. What they received was judgment. Human forces didn't storm the defenses. They simply surrounded the system, hundreds of Leviathan-class dreadnoughts aligning in perfect silence. Then, Earth spoke one final time. Cressida. Prime burned for 17 minutes. Dravis will burn for 18. The bombardment began. Columns of kinetic fire rained down from orbit, each impact shaking the crust. The planet's shields held for 2 minutes before cracking like glass. The oceans vaporized. The megacities fell. Aerith civilians screamed for clemency, for surrender. They sent transmissions pleading for ceasefire. No reply came. Admiral Cortez watched from the flagship Vigilant Dawn, her eyes unblinking. "Begin final sequence," she ordered. A single command pulsed through the fleet. Thousands of warheads detached and drifted into orbit, each carrying the ashes of those who died on Cressida Prime, gathered by survivors over months of grief. Then they detonated. The world that had celebrated massacre vanished in white fire. Dravis was gone. The aftermath. When the light faded, only silence remained. The Aerith Dominion ceased to exist. Its fleets broken, its worlds dead, its survivors scattered and terrified. Across the galaxy, news spread like wildfire. Empires that once mocked humanity now watched in awe and horror. The Federation of Zira declared a week of mourning. The Kalari Council sent emissaries bearing tributes, promising eternal friendship, out of fear more than goodwill. No one dared approach Terran space without permission. Humanity did not boast. They did not broadcast victory. They simply pulled back, their fleets vanishing into the black once more. When asked by neutral observers why Earth had shown no mercy, Admiral Cortez's final transmission answered, "Mercy died on Cressida Prime." The lesson of fire centuries. Later, the ruins of Dravis still drift in orbit, a frozen monument to arrogance. Pilgrims from 100 worlds travel there to see the wreckage, the glassed surface, the skeletal remains of the once mighty towers. They whisper the same phrase, passed down through generations. Never provoke Earth again. In the archives of the Galactic Council, one report is preserved as forbidden reading, an analysis of humanity's war doctrines after the Cressida massacre. It ends with a single line, written by an alien scholar who survived the Dominion's fall. Humans are not gods. They are not monsters. They are the reckoning that follows both. And in the cold reaches of space, where Terran ships still patrol the dark unseen, there is no sound, No transmission, no boast, no threat. Only the endless, watching silence of a species that once wept, and learned never to weep again. Because when the invaders came begging for mercy, they found none here.